Long ago, in the ancient kingdom of Kosala, there lived a man whose name brought terror to all who heard it. He was called Angulimala, the man with the garland of fingers. He was a ruthless murderer, a shadow of death feared across the land. Yet, before he became this monster, he was a kind and intelligent student. His story is a powerful reminder of how ignorance and lies can twist a good man into a killer, and how boundless compassion can turn him back into a saint. He was not always known by this dreadful name. At birth, he was called Ahimsaka, meaning the harmless one. As the son of a Brahmin, he was bright, gentle, and utterly devoted to his studies. When he came of age, his father sent him to Taxila, a renowned center of learning, to study under a great teacher. Ahimsaka excelled, quickly winning the teacher's favor with his wisdom and diligence. But his brilliance sparked jealousy among his fellow students. They envied his sharp mind and kind heart, and a dark plot began to form. They went to their master, whispering poisonous lies into his ear. Ahimsaka plans to betray you, master, they said. He believes he is wiser than you and seeks to usurp your position. Day after day, they fed the teachers insecurities until his admiration for Ahimsaka curled into suspicion, and suspicion hardened into hate. Blinded by these falsehoods, the teacher's heart was filled with a desire for revenge. One night, under a starless sky, the teacher summoned Ahimsaka. His face was a cold, unreadable mask. If you truly wish to prove your loyalty to me, the teacher said, his voice void of warmth, and attain the supreme knowledge you seek, there is one final task you must complete. Bring me a tribute of 1,000 human fingers. The young man was horrified. The command was a brutal violation of everything he had ever learned, but his faith in his master was absolute, a blind devotion that overshadowed his own conscience. He believed it was a sacred, albeit terrible, test of his resolve, and so, with a heavy heart, Ahimsaka began his descent into darkness. He left the school and took to the lonely forest roads. He hunted travelers, not for their gold, but for their fingers, which he strung into a grisly garland around his neck to keep count. From that day on, the gentle Ahimsaka was gone, and the fearsome Angulimala, the garland of fingers, was born. The land of Kosala was plunged into a state of terror. Entire villages were abandoned as fear spread like a plague. Travelers vanished without a trace, and families wept for their lost loved ones. The king, Pasenadi, dispatched his soldiers to capture the murderer, but none dared to enter the forest where Angulimala had made his lair. The killer seemed unstoppable, a force of pure destruction. Then, one morning, as the Buddha sat in meditation, he saw with his divine eye that Angulimala's karma had ripened. The seeds of change were ready to sprout. He saw that the murderer had gathered 999 fingers and that his own mother, desperate to save him from his path, was on her way to find him, destined to become his final victim. To prevent this tragedy and guide Angulimala toward awakening, the Buddha set out alone, walking without fear into the heart of the dark forest. From the shadows between the ancient trees, Angulimala spotted a lone monk walking calmly along the path, completely unarmed and serene. A cruel laugh escaped his lips. "Foolish monk, you will be my final victim, the one that completes my task." He drew his sword, its cold steel glinting in the dim forest light, and charged toward the Buddha. But a strange thing happened. No matter how fast he ran, his legs pumping and his lungs burning, he could not close the distance. The Buddha continued walking at a slow, gentle pace, yet he remained just out of reach. It was as if the very ground was stretching between them. Breathless, frustrated, and furious, Angulimala finally stopped and screamed, "Stop, monk, stop." The Buddha turned, his eyes filled not with fear, but with an ocean of peace. He spoke softly, his voice carrying through the forest. I have already stopped, Angulimala. It is you who have not yet stopped. Angulimala was bewildered. What do you mean? He demanded, panting heavily. I am standing perfectly still, and you are the one who is walking. The Buddha replied with profound stillness. I have stopped from all acts of violence, from hatred, from delusion. My journey of causing harm is over. You, though your feet are still running chasing blood, fear, and suffering. In that single, transformative moment, the words pierced through the layers of madness and rage that had encased Angulimala's heart. For the first time in years, he truly saw himself not as a fearsome killer, but as a lost, tormented soul trapped in a cycle of his own making. He saw the pain he had caused, the blindness that had guided him. His sword fell from his grasp, clattering on the forest floor. He dropped to his knees, his body trembling as tears of profound remorse streamed down his face. Lord, he choked out, what must I do to truly stop? The Buddha placed a gentle hand upon his bowed head and said, leave behind the sword and the path of violence. Let compassion be your new guide. When your heart is finally still, the world around you will become still as well. From that day forward, the man who was once Angulimala followed the Buddha as a monk. He shaved his head, donned the simple saffron robe, and renounced his violent past. The man who once took hundreds of lives now walked barefoot from house to house, his alms bowl outstretched, begging for his daily meal. But his past was not so easily forgotten. When people in the villages saw him, they recognized the face of the monster who had terrorized their lives. They shouted curses at him, threw stones, and drove him away with sticks. Yet, he never retaliated. He accepted every blow, every insult, with quiet humility. He would only say softly, this is the fruit of my past actions. May the pain I feel now help to end the fear I once caused in others. He understood that this suffering was the price for his terrible deeds, and he bore it with unwavering patience. One day, a disciple approached the Buddha, his mind filled with doubt. Lord, he asked, is it truly possible that a killer like Angulimala, who has caused so much death and suffering, can ever reach enlightenment? The Buddha looked at his disciples and replied, if a person truly stops their unwholesome actions and turns their heart toward the path of peace, even a murderer can become a saint. The river may run muddy with the dirt it carries, but if it is allowed to settle, given time, the water clears and perfectly reflects the sky. In time, through his dedicated practice and unshakable resolve, Angulimala purified his mind. He became an arahanta fully enlightened being, free from hatred, free from fear, and free from the chains of his past. He became a living testament to the transformative power of compassion. Angulimala once killed with a sword, but the Buddha, with the sword of wisdom, killed the hatred within him. His story teaches us a timeless truth. When the mind stops its endless chase, karma stops. When the heart awakens to compassion,